guys.
Good to see you.
Welcome. Welcome. Come with the team.
Hi.
Alex and Allie.
This is like deja vu.
All over again.
Thank you. It feels good to be in.
I love the hat, the baby.
You guys want to take a seat?
This is great.
Sure. Please join.
Oh, nice.
Very cool. How'd you two meet?
We worked at the same funeral home for quite a few years.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And I grew up in a Latino family, so death was just always something that we talked about. It was really familiar. It wasn't something we were afraid of. So my art really centered around death and dying for the longest time. And then I needed a career change, so I decided to go back to school. I became a funeral director and embalmer, and I met my best friend. So totally worth it.
So I was doing all the back end stuff, and Allie was doing the front end house. And
She
so
actually trained me on a lot of the back end stuff.
yeah, and then I actually left to California, came back pregnant, and was working in the front because I couldn't be in the back from the chemicals.
Where I trained Alex.
Where she trained me.
Oh, cute. So
You
you
really worked in everything.
Everything.
Yeah, we've been together since the beginning of it.
Hello, my name is Albert Baez. I'm the president and co-founder at Blended Sense.
And I am Luke Pratt. I am a content producer at Blended Sense.
My name is Alex Casas Chang, and I am one of the co-founders of Pale Hearse and Nuestra Última Partida. I am also the CEO, and I am a mortuary restorative specialist.
I'm Ali Garcia. I am a funeral director and co-founder of Pale Hearse and Nuestra Última Partida.
Awesome. Well, we're here today because we are entering into a partnership together as Blended Sense and Pale Hearse. For us, it was so exciting about the opportunity, not just because of the space and there is a problem, but it really aligns with what we set out to do. Yes, do we do photos, video, audio, and copy? Absolutely, that's what we deliver today to customers, but we're also a technology company. And the fact is that in the space of tech hub like Austin, Texas, there's such a gap on how companies don't build for communities like a Spanish-speaking community, right? Or any language, really, as you said. So for us, it was like, wow, this whole sector, 4+ million small businesses in the U.S. alone that are all Spanish-speaking and are not getting quality services in the digital space. We need to figure out a way to make an impact there and lean on all the work that you guys have already done in the translation services space, right? The community that you guys have built in the space, and allow us to come in and now start telling those stories for not just Pale Hearse, not just the families, but the providers as well. Tell us a little bit about how you identified the gap in the space, right? Like, why did you feel like this was missing? And then how you guys feel like you're going to solve it.
We've both been in the industry for close to a decade, and we've seen families coming in who spoke Spanish only. And during a difficult time, already not being able to communicate your needs is one of the hardest things to watch. One of the things that I personally saw firsthand was a lot of families coming in dealing with baby loss. And they're coming in, they're not comfortable already, they don't speak our language, and then we're turning them away. That's not okay with us. And to us, even though we're not fluent in Spanish, we both grew up with Spanish backgrounds. Our parents speak Spanish. That was something very important to us. But we made sure that we would find a way to help these families. Even if it was me texting my dad and calling him before I walked into that arrangement to help, just to make sure that they were not being told, find somewhere else.
Right. Basically that. Yeah, just to expand a little bit. Alex said it perfectly. But we just find authentic representation to be so important, especially with our community. You want to see somebody that looks like you and understands you and can get the culture and feel like you're part of the family. And when we were looking for stock images, they were mostly negative stereotypes, which was pretty hurtful to think that we're just a sombrero or that we're criminals. And that's when we knew we have to find something else. We have to find another way to get this representation because that's outside of our scope. How do we go into the community and get those images? That's why we turned to you all. We knew you know how to do that. We know representation and authenticity is important to you all too. So it just felt kismet, I guess, like this was supposed to be. So we're just really excited to work on those kinds of things with you and to, like we say, help more people.
The amount of creators we're going to need to service this industry is going to be freaking awesome to build and to grow community around them as well, because they're going to be the ones telling those stories. So
it's a whole ecosystem coming together and really showcasing community. To us, I feel
gives me goosebumps.
Yes, it's kind of like, it reminds me of like when you walk into like a mercado. growing up in El Paso, walking into like Juarez Mercado, and you see all these different little shops, all these different people that are making up this one beautiful place. And I think that that's kind of what I see this as, is just this community coming together and supporting one another and building this beautiful foundation to just grow from.
Yeah.
It feels like home.
Yeah, it feels like home.
Yeah, I would say our main goal is to be sure people know that talking about death won't kill you. It's one of our favorite phrases in the industry. And talking about things, getting yourself prepared, and also telling your family what you need ahead of time is a really great way to still support them when you're no longer there. So I know my family and I talk about what we want to have done, and it really helps me because when I know my mom is gone, she'll already have made those decisions for me. So when I come into that arrangement conference, we've had these conversations, and it's like she's still kind of there with us. So we really want to help people feel comforted with us, to feel like we're a family who can do that for you and with you. And like Alex said, empowering people so they're not afraid of the inevitable is one of our main goals. And we really do that by trying to unify the best in end-of-life care so families can really find the support they need at a glance.
The preparedness that we were speaking on resonates with me very much because no matter how long things might be happening to you and your family or the ones you love or how long you have to prepare for it, you're almost never as prepared as you need to be, or the timing never quite works out as you expected. So just to be able to help build that type of community and help support with the content that we'll create will be not only valuable to everyone, but for me, something that is going to be very personally fulfilling for my own values. So.
Absolutely.
Everybody has a bunch of different traditions that can really feed from one another. So to be able to capture those different stories and the similarities and bring us all closer together and help us understand the differences and celebrate those differences, I'm excited to see that happen between all of us. Because I think you guys do such a good job telling the story, the real story, the kind of hallmark story that touches your heart, that's real. And that's, I think, what's missing in death care. I think that that's something we're excited to see and bring new, fresh ideas rather than the same kind of shared, regurgitated content.
Echo chamber.
And then the other question I had for you guys was, like, obviously you're young women, and Latina women, where does that fall in the industry? Is it, I guess I have a preconceived notion that it would be run by a lot of older men.
When I went to school for mortuary science, it was mostly women. So women are coming back into the industry. We know historically it was usually placed on women to care for the dead.
Sort of nurturing.
Things happened. Embalming became really big with, I think, Lincoln's body being taken around the nation. And so embalming became really big and became a trade for men. So it became male dominated for a really long time. But honestly, right now, they're kind of being phased out of the industry due to their age. And so a lot of young women are coming back in. So it's really, really great to be in such a community full of women. I really didn't expect that. And even on our social media and everything online, we mostly work with other women who are in the industry. It's really incredible to see this huge growth spurt.
I'm just excited for you guys. Excited for what's next.
Honestly, that's one of the best things too, is finding companies that align with us, but then seeing women, seeing people of color, it's incredible because it's the proof. We're doing it. That's something that we have definitely tried to push and just uplift other people, because it's that in itself is a huge accomplishment.
Absolutely. I would agree with that.
Stronger together.
Mm-hmm.